Near side of the moon is seen to us, the far side is in darkness. On the near side, the landings have taken place on the North Pole equator but not on the South Pole, which we attempted in Chandrayaan 2. And now in the Chandrayaan 3 and Luna 25 we are trying to land on the South Pole points. And South Pole point, the Chandrayaan 3 site and the Luna 25 site and the Chandrayaan crash site are all very near. The Chandrayaan 3 landing site is 145 kilometers from the landing site of Luna 25. And this is another profile of the lunar landing pictures with craters and all. Who will be the number one to land on the South Pole? Chandrayaan 3 or Luna 25? So here is my decoding on this problem. So who will be the number one can be analyzed by the following headings. So Indian space experience begins from 1965 with the RH sounding rocket, and then it goes through Dr. Vikram Sarabhai's experience, and then the missile man of India, and then the Indo-US space cooperation, and then comes the Indo-Russian space cooperation for satellite Aryabhat, astronaut Rakesh, and training 4 astronauts for the manned mission. But world record is Russian. Luna 1 around the moon, Luna 2 on the moon, 1959. So Luna 2 to Luna 24 flights have taken place, and the Luna 25 last is 1976, but now 2023, 47 years there is no flight experience. This is the biggest concern for the Russia. However, it has attempted Luna 25. We all meet in that 16. So why Russia is in a hurry? Why India should worry? This is the debate going on in the newspapers, news channel. I am going to expose the behind the scenes of the Chandrayaan 3 and Luna 25 mission. Here is my analysis. Russia politics. President Putin wants to prove supremacy again by reaching the nearest planet, that is moon. And Indian Prime Minister wants to make the landing a dream come true this time. There has been a treaty signed between India and Russia in 2021, which is now coming into action. But how both are going to mutually get benefit? So here is the analysis by sharing the data. Let's see how this data can be shared. There has been a problem of hacking during Chandrayaan 2. This is the fear for even Roscosmos. So Russia is not using European space network, so India can give Indian space network. But Indian space network is downlinking for the third stage of the mission via UK and French Guyana to the Germany S-track, and then it comes to the ISRO. It takes around 1.25 seconds to come down. There is a biggest collision problem in the and avoided the collision. Next is during orbiting. There are 6 crafts, 4 American, 1 Indian and 1 Korean moving around the moon at very high speed, for example 560 km per hour. There is a biggest problem of collision of the crafts, and now another 2 are entering into the ellipse. In fact, Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter of America was about to collide with Indian Chandrayaan 2 orbiter, which was avoided. So data sharing at this point. Third is during landing, Russia can use the Indian orbiter because they don't have the orbiter. But India can use the data from the Luna, which is moving there with communication with the Russian network, and also it will be on the moon. So now let us see, during landing Russia can use data from our orbiter because they don't have the orbiter. So our orbiter can photograph the descent of the Luna 25. That is another wonderful thing. So during landing Russia can use data in this way. And another important world record, the Indian landing of Chandrayaan 3 will be photographed for the first time in the world record from the Luna 25. lander. This is the world record. So, and also in case of frozen signals during the freeze and all, the signals can be transferred. So these are all the orbit of one country helps the rover of another country, orbiter of one rover of another country helps rover of another country. So it's a permutation combination that is going to take place. This is the schedule, but what was planned was 1 week 8 days before to plan to make landing of Indian Chandrayaan 3 on 15 August. It did not happen because the Russia had problem with pilot D navigation camera, which was not given by the West, and deep sensor velocity sensor was not available. So there has been a problem regarding North Korea hacking the Chandrayaan 2 by hacking ISRO, but ISRO said it is not compromised, went ahead with the Chandrayaan to July 29, although it was knowing. Then ultimately what happened is it was tragic for both Chandrayaan 2 as well as Bereshit of Israel to lose the crafts. When asked, Lori Grace told both carried a laser reflector of America. It's just a coincidence. Similarly, the Bereshit Israel also crash landed. They both carried a laser reflector. And here is the comparison of the resolution of the camera. The camera of Chandrayaan 2 orbiter is very good. It photographed the descent stage of the US aircraft, but ISRO did not publish any image of the Vikram lander. So the initial statement by the ISRO to carry the payload called laser retroreflector array was contradicted, but ultimately accepted that we are carrying. But when Chandrayaan crash landed, it was a great loss to NASA, but NASA happily again gave this passive load, which actively accepted by the ISRO. The safe landing always depends on the sabotage free space race. So it's to counter the hacking, the India has to be vigilant both on ground, in the air, thus to make Russia and India together make a world record.